Hello, what's up? How are you doing today? You can tell I'm in a good mood. I mean, I'm pretty much always mainly in a good mood, but today's an extra special day. This week is an extra special week. Damn, am I really that fried? Can you not see my eyes? I promise my eyes are open. God damn. Anyway, today's an extra special day. We're smoking some rosin in the blunt today, and we're talking about the marketplace. What's better? And also, if you have not played Crimson Desert, I have been up all night. So forgive me if I'm a little all over the place today with the video, but you gotta play this game. It is like Red Dead Redemption mixed with Zelda, mixed with like Skyrim. What? Listen, this shit is so crazy. I went and got a PS5 Pro just for this game. I know. I've had more than one PlayStation for a while. So now on my third. Oh God. If Sony was halfway helpful, I would love to see more single player games just like this. I'm telling you, man. And so, shout out to the rosin in the blunt. We about to be super extra fried. But what's important here, okay? Let me bring you a little closer to me. What's important today? I want you to start understanding more of the conversation we had about trifecta, okay, versus I mean, I just been calling them like OG GB levels, right? This video, I know we always do this, right? If you're unfamiliar with this style of video, like we always talk about market structure first before we get to anything GB level related. All right. Okay. Now, if you are also new to this situation here, why have I been saying this is a good day and a good week? Wednesday. I'm sure you've noticed NASDAQ is back to being a porn star, and you might want to pay attention. Now, another key element to this video. I'm starting to get you guys to think more about something I really personally care about. I mean, for years, right? We've seen so many people talk about like New York only and like, oh, like don't trade Asia and oh, well, like, you know, London is so great and this has nothing to do with New York and like what? Like I'm confused. And the reason why I'm confused, right? I'm not understanding why we're just so boxed in mentally to where we're thinking that this is the literal only time the shit is supposed to move. It's an algorithm, correct? It is. Yo, I'm smoking like true OG mixed with Animal Scout rosin. All right, let's hurry up because I'm gonna be asleep after this one. Jesus. All right. Now, the reason why I'm pointing out that this is such a fun week, and again, I want you to start thinking more about not just your New York panels here, and we're going to go through them, but I want you to really think about something in general. Today was excellent in New York, but my thing is, let's pop down to a 15. My overall point, if you're still thinking this is the only time you can participate, now for reference, I'm on a 15-minute chart. Okay. This has been a big thing I've been talking with my Discord, and it's no like mentorship secret or anything like that. So I can share it with you here. Um, I just want you guys to stop doing this thing where we're overthinking, like, and I'm not necessarily talking just about the base AMD stuff that we've been working on together. No, I'm talking about just straight up vibe. Like, listen, this should be almost self-explanatory, but I want to remind you anyway. If this shit looks like it sucks, it probably does. And the reason why I'm saying that, I don't want you to think that we're just going to come in here and start accepting any sort of price action. I understand time, optimal trade entry, this, that, and the third. I get it. I get it. This weed tastes like this weed tastes like Mr. Krabs brewed this shit at the Krusty Krab or something. I can't explain it. I can't really explain it. Anyway, but like when we're talking about straight up vibe, right? When we're thinking about like what is a real move and what is not, like when can I expect retracements? Like when am I needing to conserve energy? And this is your Monday, okay? So down to a 5-minute chart. Let's get back over there. This is what I'm talking about. Listen, when you see that, side note, yes, it's okay for scalping. If you're into that, yes, I get bored and scalp up and down sometimes, a lot of times. But this is my thing. You need to separate intention. So that means you come to something like this and you start seeing environment give you low, high. Just start bouncing. You should know by that 11 o'clock hour that this is not it. This is not it. You're not going to continuously start changing the bias up and down. And you damn sure need to stop doing the, hey, my bias for all day is the reason why I say that. When I talk about the vibe, I'm talking like, look at this run, okay? It's wicks everywhere. It's not that it doesn't go up, but look at the style of it. It's disgusting. It's wicky. It's slow. It's not a bad move, and it doesn't go that far, but it's not the worst move in the world. The sell move is a lot cleaner, of course, but this is my point. You trying to give yourself like changing the bias every 10 seconds is because you're expecting the bias to just be all day or all session even. When in reality, they drove it up here, right? Now we have some liquidity over here. I just wanted to show it to you. Okay. See that? Now we can drag it over. The point to all this is you not understanding the real draw of liquidity. You're going to come in here during New York and start buying, selling, and you're going to see break even, break even, break even, break even. And you're thinking that you're the one that's wrong necessarily. The only thing that you got wrong for yourself is expecting that fucking buys to be all fucking day. Stop that. You come to New York and you've noticed something recently, right? Let's pay attention to our Sunday. Back to a 15. All right. You've noticed something here. Now, without going too in depth, I want you to understand when I say it's not just about New York and you need to slightly open your brain a little bit, is because I want you to get more comfortable with the fact that, like, even if you're not a Asia trader directly, or you're not a London trader directly, you're either going to understand what they're up to, and you're not going to come to New York thinking it's supposed to be magical if you're not understanding the vibe. You get in here and you see this is way different than Friday, right? You see what I mean about the vibe. Literally, is it trendy? Is it consolidating? And why do you want to participate in something you would like to try and hold from something that looks like dog shit? Uh, uh, why? Why? And I want you to also understand Asia and London gave the bias here. They literally were going up for hours. But this is my thing. You have to stop thinking that participation is supposed to be anywhere. No, you need to understand, right? If we're dealing with liquidity here, what's the first thing that we got? And I want to show you two different perspectives, okay? Turtle soup. It's fucking bullish. They showed you from Sunday night. But I want you to understand something. Consolidation itself is not the reason you're going to think the bias is changing. You need to understand where we're going. Now, the funny thing, right? The perspective here as we go along, like we said, comparing that perspective of old school GB levels, OG levels, OGB levels, OGGB levels. They all sound retarded to me. Well, you got it. Whatever you want to call it. All right. OG levels, you got it. Now, this is my thing, right? The trifecta is really good and it is quite helpful. And I totally get where a lot of people are still having trouble with a lot of these perspectives here. Only because, let's say, for example, right? Now we're going to use a bigger one. 81 is too small. And we need to upshift it. There we go. Now, this is my thing, right? Go up two so you can see it. We just talked about that Sunday, right? Uh, real quick. A lot of you, I'm assuming you like to trade, right? I'm sure you're one of those people who open your phone at 6 o'clock, right? On Sunday. Oh, wrong lighter. We got it. Bro, how much do I love weed? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But guess what? 243 low, right at Asia Open. And I guarantee you, if you saw this perspective, right, you would not mind buying this. But I need you to understand something. You are not just relying on New York. Why? They're literally showing you the bias where they don't want to come back. They're showing you the very low of the dealing range here. And we're talking about two things at the same time. What's the vibe? Talk to me about the vibe in Asia. You tell me what you want to do. You want to start trades in Asia at a 243 low or right near it with an amazing vibe and something you can completely work with in terms of a turtle? You got to be shitting me. But this is where I need you to get creative and out of your old learning style of habits. So when you're thinking, oh, well, Jay, I mean, I'm a New York trader, bro. I don't even fuck all that. You need to make yourself available. Know why? Because how many times are you going to let this go by, watch this on your phone for hours and hours, show you the direction, show you the bias, pass you by, $1,000 moving on the screen while you're just like, no, 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 I'm good. Then you wake up the next morning and you are fully prepared to go to battle. You're going to start checking the vibe before you trade. Now let's get into the lower time frame. Let's leave Monday alone. I want you to understand something. Like we said, it's not about just New York. Having that perspective, right? Let's go up one. All right. And like I said, old school GB levels first. Okay. And still using what? For the NASDAQ or NQ, you'll notice that like using your old GB levels is really not difficult to be honest. And I was actually not saying I was like surprised because people need like practice and help with it. I mean, I teach this shit, right? But I'm saying like the perspective from your old school GB levels and like how to actually use or interact with them versus your trifecta. I do like the idea of three layers, keeping it very simple, right? But the only thing that I've come to realize is you putting this indicator on or the other one in general on. My question to you is like, what information do you really want? Like, what do you actually really need? And I'm saying, customize the information you actually want from your dealing range. You might not actually care about all of your PD array levels every 10 seconds. That's where you're probably getting scared, anxious, and not sure how to operate this thing. Debunking a lot of things about this. When it comes to PD arrays, they are provided for you. You do not have to overly try to find them. You can find them in the right PD array levels, but there are plenty of other ways to find PD arrays as well. I don't want you to overthink a gap just because you're not seeing it directly in your fair value gap level on your 243. I don't want you to panic because you have so many power of three numbers. You might necessarily just be caring that you came down to, and again, you're intraday trading. We're not coming on 2187 and 6561 to fucking day trade the shit like that. No. You might pop those on for a longer term view, but you're not looking to day trade 2187, 6561. Every now and then, if we have a really good day, news comes out, or it's a liquidity void, or just something that you know is going to cause a one-sided candle run type of day, that's going to come from, again, maybe 729 getting completed or halfway completed, but you're not going to sit there and say, oh, damn, I'm expecting NASDAQ to do a fucking no. 2187 in a day? That's not it, bro. That ain't it, y'all. That ain't it. What is it though? Well, damn. You know how bad my ADD is sometimes? Like, it's so bad. Like, I can't stop thinking about this. And it's probably been for the last, like, probably 10 minutes or so. If it's pretty Ricky, why is it a group of them? And, like, I'm just fucked up by that right now. I'm fucked up by that. Bro, I literally grew up thinking Pretty Ricky is a one person. I mean, I knew it was a group, but, like, what? Listen, let's move on. You see how my brain does weird shit like that. But my whole point is, right? We do complete this 243 in a day. But you might have only cared the fact that we came down and you can just use the EXT and the low. You might not care about every single line here. I do love how optimized this is so you can come down to equilibrium mode and decide to care about your premium or your discount and your equilibrium, highs and lows. If that's what you really care about, you can use your own entry drills if you want to. Plan your own liquidity. But listen, this is not like a bad thing, but like how much hand holding do you really need? Listen, perspective, right? Now, like I said, we're not running through every narrative here. That's not the goal. We're talking about trifecta versus your old dealing range. Okay. Now, fast forward till today. We got some meat and potatoes. All right. Actually, matter of fact, just because I'm thinking about this, here, I'll show you. All right. Because a lot of people are likely wondering about Wednesday, because that's our best day this week. And yeah, it was pretty fucking simple, honestly. If you're thinking that this was very hard, it shouldn't be. Because why? Market structure first, then go back levels, right? So, Wednesday, what happened? A high got taken out to your left. They showed you we are still using sell side order flow, right? Not really taking highs like that. Okay. So, what was engineered for you the entire time? You should already know by now. The moment you actually take a major high or low, in this case, a major high, one day got taken out by not just another day, but another week. Yeah, you should probably be looking down, but they bait you the entire time. All of us are familiar with good liquidity, right? So when you're literally looking at this is that talk I did on Vibe just now. So when we're really talking about like a shit New York versus something you need to be like on your A game for, A cycle, M, and Diesel is too far too fast. Distribution. Is trading supposed to be hard or something? You see what I mean about market structure versus your funny lines. Ready? Watch this. Now, this is the problem that we have. Now, we're on 729. Okay. How many people think NASDAQ alone, just because it moves far? I know it does, but they are thinking that they need to babysit the 729 and 2187. That is not it, brother. You can't babysit it. But this is my problem. You know what that started from? Above your 729 high here. Now, when I upshifted, ready? It's the funny part. You tell me if old school GB levels are hard or easy. True. Yes, we were. Yes, we did. So when you see price fail to come back up here again, oh, why is that? It's kind of like the opposite of a making PL3 liquidity to come back for it. This is showing us that they are not looking to come back to that level. That's why we get to this week here, currently, we have no reason to get back up here. This is all saved for later. Okay. So when we actually do get bullish again, we need something to aim at. They're going to leave that down there for the rest of that narrative. But the problem is, right? How many people you think are uncomfortable with trading from an EQ? Does it bother you? How many people started using go back levels and all of a sudden can't see structure? How many people found go back levels and never could see structure? How about the vibe? And like I said, Wednesday, to be very quick, okay? I'm talking about the vibe. And this is 8 o'clock in the morning. How many people will look directly at this and not participate? But let me ask you a question. My point. Let's bring it back. You're going to attempt this five, six, maybe 7 to 8 times. Your personal account is down. Two of your evals are at break even, and your funded is blown. You'll try this 5 to 7 times, right? But you won't try that one time. Oh, I know why. Listen, you're going to think this is logical, and I'm going to say it out loud. You're going to see how crazy this sounds now. Well, Jay, it wasn't 950. Are you serious? Look at this thing. When you see something like this, where do you think it's going? Does that make sense? I'm getting you to think about vibe. Why are you coming to something like this and expecting it to randomly move? Think of it like traffic versus an open highway. You know you can't move in traffic. Oh, you could try. There's ways to move around it. You can maneuver differently. You can go slowly, do one thing at a time if you catch my drift. Doesn't mean you can't participate. You can scout this if you like. But we're talking about, hey, Jay, I have no idea when I should be holding. I have no idea when I should be scalping. A, Monday. M, Tuesday. Distribution Wednesday. After a big range day, what happens? How many people lost the money they just made yesterday or the day before that? I mean, bro, this rosin is really strong. Oh my God. Animal Scout. Jesus. Don't think I'm done with Crimson Desert, dog. I'm about to be all up on there. That is my fucking game, dog. I really think that shit is about to be game of the century for me. I love Red Dead, even though my bitch ass didn't beat it. I love Red Dead. I love Skyrim, although my bitch ass didn't beat it. And there's a reason for it. I just suck at Skyrim, don't get me wrong. But Red Dead is amazing. And there's so many parts I want to replay just because they're so good. I just keep doing side quest and shit that I technically never finish the game. I always get like 80-ish percent or whatever and just never finish the game. I'm happy because I'm telling you, bro, go and watch some Crimson Desert videos. That shit is insane. I'll make some myself just because they're fucking insane. I'm charging controls right now, dog. I'm trying to tell you. But my point, right? You're going to try this just because it's New York. Why? Why? You were up last night or that night and saw that. I guarantee you were up. You could have got in here on this leg, took parcels at the low, left a runner, and went to bed. It's not all about New York, my friends. It is not. Ooh. I just got Crimson Desert for both of my brothers because I want them to play it too. We telling you, dog, we've been playing that shit crazy. Woo! I'm just so excited. It's just like having a really good video game is just so rare nowadays. And we have plenty of classics to play through. I mean, the fact that I got all these PlayStations in here, I mean, we about to what? Oh, I love okay, by the way, it runs on PS5 Pro really well. I haven't tried it on my PS5 Slim, but I will try it today. I heard it's not as powerful, obviously, but oh, the game is so good, man. Now let's get to the trifecta. I want you to see this. All right. I want you to see this. Oh, I accidentally moved it. That's what I did. There we go. There we go. Oh no. Did I accidentally move all my shit? Or no, I think it got updated. Oh no, no, I definitely moved these settings rather. Yeah. Anyway, point still being the same. Okay. Now, it's the thing, right? Mainly speaking on how right now, right, 723 or 729 PO3, this, in my opinion, still too big. Now, there's a lot of lines here, right? And I understand you're going to have a lot of people who still get confused about general direction because of this thing right here. This is my only issue. I said earlier where people who have trouble with market structure, like there is a trade plan, there's a few of them. But outside of these trade plans, I want you to have an understanding that, like, if all of this is liquidity based, right? You're going to have moments where you're in the green right here. Where you're seeing bars that are stuck in this blue layer. And now you're getting people to buy, and can't see that we're actually sell side. So we're participating in buys. We're participating in buys. But those are only scalps if you decide to take those. Okay. You still have to understand on a general level. Fool my eyes. Now I love the indicator, but I can't keep it on for too long. Me personally. I love the order flow here. It's sell side. It has been from that turtle soup. Now, this line here, it's liquidity, man. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to overthink liquidity, dog. Now, trifecta, right? Let's clean this up. Now, 243, really helpful for lower time frames. If you do need that like bigger view, right? This is where you can kind of expand and get creative. But like we said, these bigger levels, they're helping you over a period of time. It's not like you're coming in every day and you're going to just care about this 2187, right? And trading back and forth on this thing. You're going to get into moments where, yes, you're in a blue layer, but at the same time, if you're still not understanding what the vibe is, you're still going to come in here on a New York and get cooked. You're still going to come in here, like we said, on a Monday like this and get cooked, not understanding that it's not just about New York. The only problem that I have when you view the blue layer, it is giving you the bias. I like that, right? But even still, check this out. Like I said, right? I had people right in this area here. Now, yes, this was bullish, right? Not for long because of the order flow. But how many people do you think were looking at 2187 and just because you had bodies on the blue layer, they're buying that aggressively with too much size. And it doesn't work out well because they're looking for more of this liquidity here and thinking that we could go and float back higher. But it's not possible. But I understand. Getting better at trifecta alone is what you need to do if you would like to use it. So, meaning, I don't want you to be in here not understanding order flow, market structure, and liquidity because you're going to sit there and start changing the bias every 10 seconds. Whoa, this was bullish, blue layer. I'm buying, getting stopped out every 10 seconds. Then you're going to keep buying this. And you're going to skip out on all of this. There's way too many people I saw not taking the sell move because they were inside of this blue layer. This body ripped outside of it, and because it was not New York or 950. Now, on this one, right? The rebalance layer here. The rebalance layer on this one, I mean, my normal settings are yellow, but on this one is red, right? Everyone is scared of the rebalance layer. So since you don't understand the breaker and mitigation block, how to use them by structure or function, you're just now thinking, yo, rebalance layer is dirty, disgusting, consolidation is there, I need to avoid it. So how do you deal with that? If you are waking up and the bulk of your trading that day starts from a rebalance layer, what are you doing about that? These are questions that I'm asking you. I'm not looking to answer them for you right now. Those are questions I'm looking for you to think about. Okay. Hey, there's a thing, right? Let's say we're on the 1 minute and for trifecta, right? We talked about how if you're picking a PO3 number, it's going to X3 that bitch regardless, right? All right. So that means this range is not really showing you like 181. It's showing you 81, 81, 81. Okay. This is what I mean. You don't have to make this motherfucker so big and you're just chilling on the 1 minute. You don't have to do that. Calm down, chill out, start playing around with lower ranges and lower numbers. So in reality, you got 23 times, or sorry, 27 times 3 on. You want an actual 27? Uh, Lower range. And like I said, this is all well and good, right? This move here is like 340. So this is like end of the day, right? So obviously 4 o'clock is here. Let's look at this on a slightly bigger one. Let's go 81. All right. Perfect. Now this is cool, right? We do see the very bottom. We're going to ignore the rest of that because we don't need it, not trading it. But like you said, if you wanted that very, very last liquidity void, you can deal with this. You have to understand the rebalance layer is not the thing to be deathly afraid of, but you have to get it. So when they're running it like this, right? This is a typical way to use a rebalance layer. They're going to blast right through it, okay? But it's in the name. It's in the name. What do they do? A straight shot? Not going to work. That's why they rebalance it, hence the name, move away from it. Okay? Keep it that simple. Keep it simple. And like I said, for reference, this is the very, very last move of the day. This right here is right slightly after 3:30. Okay? Now, turning this all off, right? We spoke earlier about vibe. Someone lock this. And just speaking about this, look at this leg. Looking at this leg directly, you're going to notice It is not consolidated, not small candles, very clean. We just did what? We just took a target at that yellow line. Okay. So that means you just took a major liquidity. Therefore, we are expecting some sort of reversal, even if it's at the very end of the day. Liquidity's taken on the downside. We have to start looking up at some point. You're going to trust them. They're showing you as bullish. You believe them. And I'm not talking no bullshit. You're not going to overly assume that this bullshit here can change the face of and start some wild ass stuff like this. No, the vibe is completely different. Okay. This whole move down, right? What do you get offered before that? You need to get your anxiety down about thinking that you're not going to find what you need to find. You're overly thinking you still need 37 confluences. You're not trusting volatility. You're still thinking moves can still happen from some dumbass shit like this, and we got to cut it out. Plain and simple. Oh, man. Hey, check this out. Oh, I got a new controller. I got one of the HyperPop controllers. This is my favorite controller. Half green, half black. Hey, that reminds me of myself. I mean, I'm black and I smoke a lot of weed. Mm, I'm weird. It is what it is. But it's time to play Crimson Desert, and who knows? But what I think you should do, you might want to watch NASDAQ next week. There's going to be a few days where you're kind of like, and there's ways to expect it, but there's going to be some interesting volatility coming in next week. All right. Specifically, watch Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. All right. We'll talk again this week. See you later.